Hey everyone, welcome back to Caesar's Freedomstead. Now today I just want to give you a short clip here, a tip on saving money on feeding your rabbits on rabbit food. So, not everybody has rabbits, but if you're looking to get into having rabbits for pets or for meat, or just having them out here to produce fertilizer for all your plants, we do all the above. So one thing you could do, especially if you have your land here, is there's certain types of plants and leaves and leafy greens that the rabbits will actually prefer over the rabbit food. And let me show you some of those things that we use.
Dada?
I think it's okay, Josiah. All right, everybody. So you can see here's a Sparkle, the rabbit, and she actually prefers these plantain leaves over anything. And so does Rubble. There's Rubble, the rabbit. Oh, he'll come over there in just a minute. So we give him these leaves here. I believe these are the plantain leaves. It's there's a couple different kinds out here, but they will prefer these over their own feed. If you see the feed over here, his bowl's full. We just gave him that feed, but he prefers to have the greens over anything else. And so what I would recommend to everybody, if you have these leaves grown out on your property, go ahead and grab a bunch. They will love these. Look at them go. And Josiah has some kale right there. And if you grow kale, the rabbits will love to have the kale as well. We actually just gave them, we gave Sparkle a whole bunch over here just a second ago. It was right about here, and she ate it all up before I could even get the camera on. So they love their leafy greens, even before they get to their rabbit food. So this will actually cut our costs quite a bit. We really don't have to buy much feed for these two. We get, Josiah, what are you doing? Don't put your hands in there. That's his food, my boy. We don't really have to spend too much money on the feed for these two here. And we are actually going to be expanding our rabbit operation here. We're going to look to get the chocolate silver fox, and we're looking to get some cinnamon rabbits. Probably this week or so we're going to grab some cinnamons. They're not silver fox, but they're just cinnamon rabbits, so we're going to try to get some of those. But even when we get more rabbits, we're going to obviously give them their feed, but we're going to keep on giving them these large high protein leaves here, and kale as well. We got the kale in there. And so they love the kale. They love these high protein leaves. And as you can see, they're still chomping on these things. And this is saving our food costs by, I'd say, about 50%. They like to go to these first. And if you give them plenty of those, they'll ration out their food. You'd really only have to feed them like a half a cup of food once a day. And the bag you buy from the store will last you quite a while. Are you mixing his food with that kale, Josiah? You funny boy. Look at him. They're still going. See, now he's got that kale. See, he's eating that kale. He's going at it. They love the kale. And so it also reminds you guys, if you're growing kale and leafy greens in your garden, be careful if you get bunnies in there, because they're going to eat up your kale, your lettuce, everything.
And that's what Rubble always thinks that we're food.
Yeah.
Nothing.
There's Rubble. Yeah.
He always thinks that's food.
There, see, he's eating that kale. So this saves a lot of money on the cost. So here's some more of the plantain leaves that we find. Lori just kind of crushed them up a little bit and put them in the food bowl. But yeah, they'll just camp on those for the rest of the day. They love that. So definitely do that to save on your food costs for your rabbits. You could let them just kind of run around wild out here in your garden, in the fall, because right now we're not really growing much except for that is our kale pile there, all that kale. So we have a bunch of kale. I take a bunch of kale off there. I just harvested a whole bunch, and I'm just cutting a little bit off for the rabbits right now. So that's pretty much gonna go for the animals, because I just filled up 2 or 3 grocery bags full of kale for us, and that'll grow back, because you could grow kale in the winter up to a certain point. Now take a look at all of this. So we have a ton of these leaves that grow out here, these plantain type leaves. They're kind of all down on the ground right now because it's starting to get a little cold, but they grow all over the place here in our garden. Like, there's a big patch over there. They love these things. These right here are very high protein leaves, and they love them. And we have no short supply out here. They grow everywhere in our garden. So this actually cuts the cost quite a bit. A lot of people mow all this stuff down. And I do when we have the normal garden here in the spring through the summer. All this is mowed, and I don't really let all this grow like this. But now it's getting into the winter months, and you really don't need to mow much, and we're not really growing much in here anyways. So I'm leaving it for all these wild leaves to grow, because it's going to feed our animals. Our bunnies over there, they love them, and our chickens love them too. Yeah, what you up to? You having a good time? I like that little bit of hair they have up there on the top there. Those feathers up there kind of come to the side. Yeah, I see you over there. Yeah. Yeah, you like those leaves too, huh? Yeah. So which brings me to another idea for everybody to cut costs on your feed for your rabbits when you're doing rabbitry. Or, you know, if you're homesteading, you have a bunch of animals, grow some of the food that you actually feed them, because it's obviously going to cut a lot of costs down, and it's really not that expensive to grow the food that they like kale. We've had kale since it's been growing since like February or March in the beginning of this year. So we've been having kale all year round. And that's what we pretty much do. We made a video growing kale all year round. There's actually a way that you can do it. And a lot of people think you got to regrow it every year. And yes, it's best to regrow it every year. But you can actually, with the right soil and conditions, leave the kale, and it will continue to grow off that same stalk it has. Like these over here, all this kale back here. We planted like a year and a half ago, and it just keeps on coming back year after year, and it comes out really good. Yummy kale. Just like you would grow it new every year, it comes back every year. But we keep it in this raised bed. We keep a good fertilizer in there and good dirt in there, and it's nice and moist. And these stalks just keep on growing back kale. So we never really have to replant it. But we do anyways, like this line behind me of kale, we do that as we replanted that. So yes, go ahead and try to grow a lot of the food that you're going to provide for your animals, whether they're going to be chickens or rabbits. This video is mainly for rabbits because they will actually prefer those leafy greens over even the feed. The chickens we have, they love to forage and get bugs and, you know, eat grass and things like that. But they will actually prefer the chicken feed over anything else, especially the meat chickens. You know, they just want the chicken feed. They want to eat as much food as possible. So, so kale, the plantain leaves off the ground, any high protein leaf that you could find, actually, give it to them. It's not going to hurt them. They love it. And if you let them go free, they're going to eat it up anyways. They love Swiss chard too. I cut most of the Swiss chard for us, but we'll occasionally cut a little bit for them. They'll love Swiss chard. So any of the leafy greens, they will love to eat. All right, you guys giving them some more? There's more kale in there they put. So
Baby.
it's baby. Okay. Definitely cut the cost of your feed. Put it into something else at your homestead or with the other animals. That's what we give them every day along with their feed. And it takes us quite a while to get through a feed bag for the rabbits. As you can see, even a few minutes into this video, they're still not touching that food over there. But if there wasn't any leaves, that food would be gone. They would prefer the kale and the plantain. You gonna get more? Okay, all right. Okay, well, thank you so much for watching. I just want to show you guys that. If you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Really appreciate your viewership and your subscriptions. And just want to take you guys on all the future endeavors here on the Freedomstead. And so right back here, we're going to do that for one of our next videos here. That's the fall garden that we made from the tree as a raised bed. I'm going to give you an update on that. Everything's growing like crazy in there, so it's looking good. So I'll show you guys that on one of the next videos. But thanks so much. Please like and subscribe. And we might be bringing you a video later on this week with the new rabbits that we're going to be bringing home. All right, see you then. Bye-bye.